formula that was introduced in the previous page had n periods, n compounding periods during a year. So our investment might be compounded once a year, twice a year, or we said quarterly, which is 4 times a year. It might be compounded like weekly or daily, as we discussed in class. So those would correspond to n equals, let's say 365 for daily compounding. So similarly, just consider increasing the number of compounding periods during a year. And if we keep increasing it, we can in fact talk about continuous compounding. So it is like your money is being compounded every moment. So then we call this continuous compounding, and we have a separate formula. So the formula is given by this: A equals P times e to the RT. So what is E? E is an irrational number. Please check the textbook for a brief explanation on how E is obtained. So in fact, this formula is derived from the previous formula in the previous page when the compounding period number increases. So as it keeps increasing, then we end up with this formula, which is the continuous compounding. So realize that this formula does not have an n anymore. So the number of compounding periods n does not exist here because it is continuous compounding. It is like being compounded infinitely many times during the year. Okay, so again, you don't have to memorize this formula, neither the formula in the previous page. They are going to be provided in the exam. So let's look at the problem. You have 7,000 to invest in an account that will pay you 7.25% interest per year, compounded continuously. So whenever you see continuous compounding, then you just make use of this formula. How much will your investment be worth after 10 years? So A, P, R, and T are our variables. So I already mentioned that E is an irrational number and its value is 2.7 and it keeps, it has infinitely many numbers in its decimal expansion, like the number pi. You don't have to know what E equals. So you will just use the calculator to evaluate this formula. A is our unknown in this formula. P is 7,000 as given by the question. R, the interest rate in decimal form will be 0.0725. And T is 10, which is the number of years. So we'll plug this into the formula and we write it in the calculator. And what we find is $14,453.12.